Hey everybody, hope you're well. We're going to look at this writing. This is very close to a 9, but it can also get an 8. And this is the crucial difference that I want to point out to students here. Um, there are many reasons why you can get 8, and most people are stuck there in CELPIP writing for months. I've seen years as well. So we'll see what the difference is, how the examiner thinks, and what you got to do to improve and get to a 9 or more. We're going to do techniques that get us to 10, 11, 12, not just 9, okay? But let's see what are some of those differences. You want to be perfect, okay? In every question, you want to be perfect. You cannot have any mistake, or especially mistakes that you can easily avoid. For example, the word limit, 207 words. It could be lesser, and a good thing that she has done is she put her name, but it was just the first name. But wait a second, actually, it's about it's a formal letter, so that was actually a mistake. It should be name and last name, so it should be first and last, and she did not do that. So in the formal letters, you got to do first and last both. Coming back to the words, now it's 208. You should remove one thing here in one of those paragraphs. There's two big paragraphs. I'm sure we can do something there. It's better to be around the 180 word limit, maximum 200. They do allow you plus minus 10, which means you can go up to 210, but trust me, you want to keep it around 180 to 200. That's really the best limit to finish at. Okay, this is a formal letter, and usually you would start with Dear Sir or Dear Mr., and then the last name, not Tom, but it's okay. In Canada, a lot of people just use the first name of the boss, right? So that's okay, that's not a big problem. But when I look at this from the first glance, I see the word limit, and I see the last name that wasn't written. I'm already thinking this is going to be a weak attempt. When I start to read, it's better. Okay, so we'll jump into it right now. But I'm already thinking 9. Okay, if she gives me one mistake, I'm going to put her to 8. And the first mistake I see here is toilet. Okay, so here that's a spelling mistake, toilet, paper, and it should just be toilet paper, not toilet. So that mistake right there, she's at an 8 now. That's it. Okay, this is how serious a 9 is in CELPIP, and that's why I'm making this whole video to make you understand. You should never make more than 2 mistakes, really. And these are just minor mistakes. So 2 minor mistakes, and if it's one major mistake, forget a 9. Okay, so far she has already lost my attention. I'm already thinking she's gonna get an 8. I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt. If this rest of the writing blows me away, I'm gonna give her a 9. Okay, let's see. By the way, you can read the question here. You can pause the video and read. I'm gonna move on. The purpose of my writing today is to express my feelings and suggestion about the weekly meetings on Friday. My feelings and suggestion. Do you express your suggestion? No, that's a grammar mistake too. Definitely at an 8. Now whatever she says here doesn't matter to me. It's most likely going to be either 8 if she's perfect, or it's going to be lower because she might make more mistakes. That's it. You lost your 9. That's how, again, I'm saying that this is how serious CELPIP writing is. You cannot have any mistakes. Okay, so I would remove this. All right, let's just say feelings, and you can make it fancier, but let's just remove this to avoid mistakes. And if we do this, okay, we're back to 8 to 9 right now. The examiner's thinking. You make any major mistake, the examiner might lose all interest. Okay, to begin with, there's no comma. There's no comma. It's a simple thing you can avoid to begin with. Furthermore, overall, they're connectors. And while you did comma with these, you didn't do it here. So that's another mistake. And again, it's a small, well, it's not a small one actually. This is a comma where a pause is needed. Once again, she's at 8. All right. And if she was at an 8 already, she would still remain at 8. And then we'll see further mistakes. So minor things, very minor things that you would just ignore sometimes, but you can also catch them in proofreading. That's why I highly recommend proofreading. Okay. Let's assume all these mistakes that I have corrected are correct. Last name as well, and the word limit somehow she managed. Okay. So let's assume we're again starting at 11. We always start every marking at 11, not at 12, 11, and then it goes down usually. So let's continue. To begin with the information of the meeting on Fridays. Okay, again, this one it should be a complete sentence. To begin with, the information on the meeting of Fridays, is whatever, is not enough, is problematic, for example. So it is mostly useless. Let's just say that, all right? Just to complete the sentence, get rid of this grammar mistake. Okay, once again, we're gonna assume this one has been fixed too. The next one, next part that she has written is better. Okay, let's see. They just discussed where to buy the print paper, can save budgets, or how many toilet paper should be papers that we used last week. Honestly, as a designer, I prefer to spend time on my designs for our clients. I like honestly. It's Lee. You need to have more adverbs, so that's good. Budget's certainly important for a company. Nonetheless, they can share it at a financial department meeting. Okay, what you have here is an opportunity. When you have nonetheless, nevertheless, or connectors like that that go in between sentences, you can put a semicolon here and put n here, and you got nonetheless in between a semicolon and a comma. You made this sentence complex. Okay? So by doing this, putting connectors simply with semicolon and comma, you make it complex. A simple way to do that. All right? So that again can be a difference between an 8 and 9. By doing this, I'm showing the examiner I'm a very advanced writer. Okay, let's continue. Furthermore, if this is good. So, right now I'm looking at this, looking at this, looking at this. So far, it's good. There hasn't been a complex sentence other than the one I have made, but if she did some, that would have been nice, but that's okay. Let's continue reading. If you could change the weekly meeting to department meeting on Fridays, that would be helpful for each staff. Each staff member, you gotta say member, because staff is not a singular. It could, yeah, staff member is singular. Yeah, staff is plural. So you gotta do each staff member. Okay, so far, well, this was not a mistake, right? This was a mistake, but I'm saying we have ignored that. And so far we have, starting at 11 points, we just have one mistake. So right now I'm gonna drop her to 10. Okay, let's see if we can still get over 9 by the time I finish this. For instance, in my engineer department meeting, okay, I mean, it could be engineering department meeting, but let's ignore it. We can discuss the ideas or designs to James. You cannot discuss the ideas to someone. You want to discuss it with James. 2 grammar mistakes I've seen. Already she's at a 9. Give me a third grammar mistake and it's going to 8. Okay? As a director, he could provide feedback for us. Feedback is to us. Feedback is to us. But maybe you're saying feedback for like it belongs to you, it's gonna come to you. So I'll accept it. But it should be this way. All right. As a result, good connectors. This girl has done a great job with connectors. As a result, our clients will feel more satisfied. About the financial part, still can be discussed during the department meeting time. This is a wrong grammar. Let's ignore it. Okay. For one sec, let's ignore it. Let's imagine she didn't say that sentence. It also will help us with the word limit. So let's remove it. That grammar mistake, though, if I don't ignore it, she's at an 8. Okay. Again, very critical when it comes to mistakes. So still, we're imagining there are 2 mistakes only. Therefore, is good. Connector, she has done an amazing job. Separate each department to have own meeting time, not only effectively for staff's work, also beneficial for our clients as we provide top-notch service. Obviously, there are many grammar mistakes here. I won't write them, but I'll just tell you what they are. Therefore, please separate. You're making a suggestion. You can also say it's recommended to separate each department to have their own meeting or its own meeting time. And it will be, really got to add this, and it will be not only effective, because it will be, so you cannot say effectively. It'll be effective for our staff's work, but also, you could also say also, well, she has said, okay, also beneficial. Will not only be staff's work, but also beneficial for a client. Okay, as we provide top-notch service. All right, there's more. Let's finish this off. Overall, considering the above, I suggest that we could have an office vote to ask if anyone else would like to do the meeting change. Thank you. Okay. So with the last grammar mistake, with these sentences, this sentence and these mistakes that she made, she's going to get a 7. Okay. Considering all the above, this is, again, still going to hold at 7 so far based on the marking that I have done. The marks she's getting in the right places are the connectors. The connectors are great. You also have an intro and conclusion, which is good. It's to the point. intro is supposed to be the purpose, conclusion is supposed to be the final grading, which is nice. She could have used my template that has much more fancy words. If you want to see the completed version of our template, check out the course in the description that has the most advanced words that you want to use in task 1 and task 2. So she hasn't done that. In terms of vocab, there were other places where she could have improved too, but it's not the worst vocab. So I'm not gonna reduce it to 6 right now. Okay, so we're already at 7. I'm not gonna say 6. I'm still gonna say 7. But let's look at the task response. Because we have an intro and conclusion, we should have 3 paragraphs for the 3 bullet points, but we got 2. Okay, this is not a big deal if she has organized them correctly. Describe how you feel about the meeting. She mentioned that in the first paragraph. Explain how the model can be different. She explains that here. And the office vote, she mentioned that in the conclusion. Now she's going to get a 5. This is not the correct structure. You cannot have a bullet point explained in the conclusion. Conclusion is just for the ending greeting, okay? And that means what she has done is this is answering bullet point 2, this is answering bullet point 1, this is answering bullet point 3. You can see the difference in the explanation amount is unbalanced. The first 2 points get a lot of words, last point gets just this much. So it's not balanced properly. I always recommend doing 2 points per bullet point. So like 2 sentences per bullet point. Each bullet point will get a separate paragraph. That obviously means intro and then 3 bodies and then your conclusion. Okay, so she's missing the structure, lost 2 marks there. So you can see as an examiner, I'm trying to give her marks. I'm trying to ignore things. But with all these mistakes, it's very easy for her just after the 3rd mistake to drop quickly from 9 to 8. And then you make more, you lose more marks. So I hope this video helped out in understanding how drastic the marking is. You cannot make any mistakes if you want to get more than 9. Just imagine that perfect writing. And if you make all these mistakes, which might look minor because there are good things that she's doing too, despite all of that, she's going to score a 5. So make sure your preparation is on point and make sure you're using the most advanced templates so you can avoid mistakes by using our words and not the ones that are experimental, not the ones that are full of mistakes. Okay, please like, share, and subscribe. We'll talk soon.